Hello, creative kids, Renaissance artists. I'm really excited to have you back today because we're going to talk about something that is important to know as an artist, but it's also a whole lot of fun to do. So we get to play with Play-Doh today. This is my favorite way of teaching the color wheel. What we're going to do is we're going to take clay or Play-Doh. This is what I use, and it's just Model Magic by Crayola, but you can use Play-Doh if you want, or regular clay. I prefer this one because it dries and then I can glue the little color dots onto the wheel. And we'll talk more about that in the workbook. But for now, all you're gonna need is some paper, and I have a heavier paper. This is actually my watercolor paper. And then the clay and something to cut into the clay. You can use like a little clay tool that has an edge on it, or maybe like plastic Play-Doh scissors or a butter knife, whatever. All right, so gather your things and let's get going. Okay, so you want to begin with 3 colors: red, yellow, and blue. Now these are called primary colors, and these are the only ones we're going to use. Your pack of clay may come with white or orange or green or purple. We're not going to use those other colors. We're just going to stick with these 3. And with these 3, you'll be surprised at how many color variations we can make. So set 2 aside. What we're going to do is to start out with taking 1, and we're going to roll it into a worm. It's a little bit thinner. And we're going to take this worm and cut it into 12 little balls, little peas. They'll be the size of a garden pea. Like that. And then one of them can be larger, like this. This is about 2 or 3 of them put together. So let's set those aside and do the same. You want all of your different colors to match in size. See, they're all size, and that's important. This guy's about 2 or 3 of them. Same thing with blue. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to take your bigger ones, your bigger little pile. Don't touch the little ones yet. Just take your big one and you're going to flatten it out into a circle disc. Just like this. We're going to take red. We're going to put red right at the top and press that onto your paper, just like this. Okay? Now you're going to take the next one, yellow, flatten that into a disc. You want it to match about that size. If you want to make them look blobby, like globs of paint, you can do that too. That's kind of cool. Press that off to this side. We're going to form a triangle here. We're forming a triangle because these are what we call the primary colors. With these colors, we're going to mix everything else. Okay, so I'm put this one right over here. Now, with your little piles of paint, we're going to call this our paint. We're going to take different parts. So we're going to take 2 parts of yellow and 2 parts of red, and we're going to mix these together equally. Let's see what happens. What do you think is going to happen if we mix red and yellow? Just keep mixing and I bet you'll be able to tell. color do you see coming out? Beautiful orange. So 2 parts of yellow and 2 parts of red gives you orange. So let's flatten this color into a disc. Like this. Move this out of the way. We're going to put that one right here. Okay? Let's take 2 parts yellow and 2 parts blue. Let's see what happens. 1, 2. Oops. We'll set these aside. Let's mix 2 parts yellow and 2 parts blue and see what we come up with. What do you think that is going to end up being? Looks like I'm already seeing a color develop. Beautiful green. Here we go. So 2 blue and 2 yellow gives you a perfect middle shade of green. We're going to press that right in the middle, down below. Okay, now let's take 2 blue and 2 red and see what we get. Beautiful purple. That is really a pretty shade of purple, isn't that lovely? Okay, flatten that and set it right in here, right in between these 2. Now we have primary colors and secondary colors. We call them secondary because we mixed these 2 to get this one. These 2 to get this one, and these 2 to get this one. Now we're going to go a little bit further. We're going to take 3 parts red and 1 part yellow. So we're going to take 3 of these and 1 yellow. Let's see what we get. We're going to try to mix something right in between these 2. Okay, let's put that in a little blob right in between. Like that. Now we're going to take 3 parts yellow and 1 part red. There's 1, 2, 3, and 1 of these. There, that is a bright orange. So let's squish this guy and put him right in the middle here. All right, now we're going to mix these 2. 3 parts yellow and 1 part blue. 3 parts yellow and 1 part blue. And just smush that right in place as you need to. If you have to stretch it a little bit, that's okay. Next, we're going to take 3 parts blue and 1 part yellow. And let's see what we get. A really pretty teal shade of bluish green. And next, we're going to take 3 blue and 1 red to get in between the purple and the blue. And for the last one we're going to do here is 3 red and 1 blue to get right in between that purple and red. Did you know that colors have opposites? They're called complementary colors. In this case, red and green are opposites on the color wheel. So we're going to take a little bit of red and a little bit of green and mix them up and see what we get. Depending on how much you used of green or red, your shade of brown is going to vary from one side or the other. If you got them in equal proportions, you should have a pretty nice medium color brown. Now the next set of opposite colors are blue and orange. They are on the opposite sides of the color wheel from each other, and so we are going to mix those two and see what we get. I think you can see by now that if we mix complementary colors, we're going to get different shades of brown. Purple and yellow are also opposites or complementary colors. We'll take a little bit of purple and a little bit of yellow and mix them together, and I'm sure by now you know we're going to get some shade of brown. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and that wraps up this week. Next week, we are going to make flower fairies. This is my favorite project to do. I think you're going to really enjoy this one. Check your supply list. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.